you YouTube and Snapchat and fuckers. Welcome back to another installment of the Friday Wrap-Up. Oh, what a busy fucking week it's been, man. Let me tell you. I need a goddamn vacation already. But before we get today's show kicked off, I'm going to tip my hat to today's libation. I told you, I always scour the internet for things, and sometimes I come up with cocktails, sometimes I find a good recipe. But you know what? This one just jumped right out at me. We've all heard of the classic cocktail Sex on the Beach. It's reminiscent of summer, little inappropriate rendezvous in the sand, so to speak. But now that the fall is here, okay, because summer's over, the first day of fall on Wednesday, sex on the beach is probably not going to be in the cards anymore. But you could always have sex in the driveway, and that is what this drink right here is called. It's called Sex in the Driveway. Very, very simple to make. A little on the sweet side. I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, he's drinking a girly drink. Well, this is one of those drinks that looks girly, but it's strong enough to be for a guy. I myself probably wouldn't have more than one, possibly two, and then I'd switch to some stronger shit. But very easy to make. So, you start with your favorite vodka. I'm using Tito's, of course. So you two shots of Tito's. You put a shot of peach vodka. You could use peach schnapps if you wanted a little bit on the sweeter side. I think this is liquid diabetes-y enough. And, of course, a shot of blue curacao, which gives it that nice blue hue. And then you top the whole thing off with 7-Up. You could use Sprite, but that's a Coca-Cola product, and Coca-Cola is a racist soda brand. I showed you that on the show last year when they want all their employees to be less white, so I've been boycotting Coca-Cola products. Not that I'm delusional in thinking that me boycotting Coca-Cola is going to put them out of business, but those motherfuckers don't need my money, all right? So I'm using 7-Up, which is a Pepsi product. You also want to use crushed ice. You could use regular ice cubes if you like, but I think the crushed ice adds a little bit more fanciness to it. So, Azalu, the drink up and be somebody. That is refreshing, but that can sneak up on you. That's actually pretty good. So, let's dive right into today's show before we get into the nuts and bolts. I got some good news. Good news. I know big relief I got today hearing this, but Barney the Bull. Remember that bull that escaped from a slaughterhouse in Suffolk County? Well, apparently this fucking bull's been on the run since July. Okay? I don't know how you can't find a bull in Suffolk County, but apparently they just found it. Barney the Bull was captured at a former duck farm in the Mauritius. So it never really even left Mauritius. It kind of just stayed in the area, and it took the fucking idiots in Suffolk County 2 goddamn months to find a fucking bull. So there you go. They are going to provide Barney with his new home at a sanctuary. I myself feel that they should take this bull back to the fucking slaughterhouse, line up all the other cows, and kill it in front of them. Okay? Matter of fact, televise the whole fucking thing. So cows do not get the wrong idea thinking that if you escape and lamb it for 2 fucking months, you won't end up a ribeye. Okay? You got to set an example. I would use Barney as the example. That's just me. So, anyway, your Hochul hoedown. Last week, Governor Hochul released 191 inmates from Rikers Island. Imagine this shit. Now, listen. Rikers Island is no fucking picnic spot. Believe me, I know. Don't ask me why I know, but I know. So apparently she feels by letting these inmates out, it'll help with the overcrowding and also alleviate them potentially getting the coronavirus. We don't want our criminals getting the Wu flu, apparently. So the 191 inmates that she released apparently were parole violators. For whatever reason, in New York City, you violate parole, they stick you right back in the clink. Now, my question is, okay, what the fuck did they do prior to their parole violation? Like, what was their initial crime? Okay? If you violate parole and you got to do another 30 days, 60 days, or serve out the rest of your fucking sentence, whatever it is, why all of a sudden this clemency? Just stick them in. If you want to, listen, I understand fucking Rikers Island is overcrowded. I also understand they're short-staffed, and I also understand that the place is an absolute fucking shithole. I get it. But there's plenty of prisons throughout New York State. I mean, move them there. Maybe move them to a minimum security facility. I don't know. But just taking 200 people and turning them fucking loose on the street when the crime rate in New York City is already out of control? Not exactly the best fucking idea, Hoco. Anyway, this isn't really a Cuomo update, but, you know, I gotta stop reading fucking news articles before I go to sleep at night. Last night I had the weirdest fucking dream, okay? And unfortunately, Governor Nostrils was in it. Apparently in the dream he was talking to me and asking me if he's eligible for unemployment benefits. Could you imagine? And to which I promptly laughed and replied no. And then he lit a pipe. He had like a corncob pipe, like Popeye. Don't ask me to explain it, just a fucking weird dream. Okay, your COVID special report. So, Biden's rule requiring the companies with 100 or more employees to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine or weekly testing is actually illegal. And this is only really meant to get the Democratic president back in the media's good graces after he was widely criticized for his chaotic military withdrawal from Afghanistan. But we ain't going to let the world forget that on this show, are we, kids? All this is really going to accomplish, okay, is adding to the growing unemployment numbers in the country and further deplete the unemployment insurance funds in their respective states. Just on Monday, Northwell Health let go a shit ton of people because they weren't vaccinated. Apparently, they had an ultimatum in place stating that if you were not vaccinated by the 20th of the month, which was Monday, you're off the fucking payroll. So now there's a shit ton of hospital workers that were released from their jobs from one of the largest hospital conglomerates in New York, or on Long Island anyway, and at the worst possible fucking time. You know, we're still knee deep in a pandemic, so you still got people being hospitalized and whatever, you know. So now that you're short hundreds of workers, probably not the smartest fucking idea. So, just saying. Anyway, on another Biden blunder. Biden's Kabul strike. Now, you remember back when, in the beginning of this whole fucking military fiasco, with this pullout from Afghanistan, 13 service people were murdered from some fucking terrorist bomber that was supposedly linked to ISIS-K, which is an ISIS cell. And Biden got on TV talking all fucking tough, saying, oh, we're going to find them, we're going to make them pay, and blah, 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 blah. And he ordered a drone strike to retaliate. So he said that the drone strike was successful. So what happened was they ordered a drone strike, they found a target, they took the target out, and then Biden goes on television saying that the drone strike in Kabul was overwhelmingly successful. Well, if his idea of looking like a limp dick fucking moron was the goal of this strike, well then yeah, he was successful on that front, because as for the intended result, it was an epic fucking failure. The drones blew up a vehicle that was said to be carrying ISIS-K terrorists. However, the driver of the vehicle was actually a civilian. He was a fucking long-time worker for a U.S. aid organization. Can you fucking imagine this shit? Okay, he was an Afghani citizen who was working with the U.S. out there, and they fucking blow him up! I mean, the unmitigated stupidity. The attack killed a total of 10 civilians, including 7 children. I mean, what the fuck is going on? Okay? This was also corroborated by General Frank McKenzie, the top general of U.S. Central Command at the Pentagon. McKenzie told now Biden didn't even fucking come on TV and take responsibility for this shit. He sent the fucking lackey. So McKenzie told reporters that the strike was a mistake, okay, and then offered an apology. Oops, sorry. We blew up 10 10 of the wrong fucking people. I mean, come on. Fucking holy shit. How is that not racist? I mean, you know, you're saying all these Afghanis look the same, basically. That our sophisticated military equipment can't tell the difference between a fucking civilian and a terrorist. Okay, this fucking Momo Biden has turned this into a country that can't fucking shoot straight. Literally. Fucking, the Taliban are shaking in their sandals now. So, there you go. All right, kids, get your tickets out. Get ready. We're about to hop on board the crazy train. It's about to leave the station. All aboard! Woo-hoo! First stop, Washington, D.C. So, speaking of Joe Biden, Biden wants to raise taxes by $2.1 trillion with this whole new fucking spending bill, claiming that the rich need to pay their fair share. But in 2017, multimillionaire Joe Biden skirted his own fucking payroll taxes, the very taxes that fund Medicare and Obamacare. Rules for thee, but not for me. Representative Jim Banks, who chairs the conservative Republican Study Committee, released this information just the other day. Banks said that the report indicated that Biden improperly used S corporations. Okay, this is the same shit they accused Donald Trump of doing, which he didn't do, by the way. While he and First Lady Jill Biden raked in over $13 million on speaking fees and book sales in 2017 and 2018, but counted less than $800,000 of it as salary that could be taxed for Medicare. So out of $13 million, they pay taxes on $800,000. Now, mind you, using an S corporation to do this is actually a legal loophole. Okay, it's a tax loophole, but he fucking condemned Donald Trump for doing shit like this, and in fact, he was doing it himself. He's sitting there saying that the rich should pay their fair share of taxes. Now, I'm no fucking economist, but if you earn $13 million within a period of a year, I think that qualifies you as fucking rich. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. Okay? So his tax hike goes to people who are making over $400,000 a year. Thankfully, I'm not in that fucking group. But initially, which that's going to trickle down to the middle class. I'm not going to give you an economy lesson right now, but here's a fucking guy in 1 year earned $13 million and only paid taxes on $800,000 of it. Hello, Joe. How about fucking practice what you preach? You see, now if AOC is watching, sweetheart, this is how you earn $13 million. This is how you become part of the elite rich. You get paid for speaking engagements. So if you could form a cohesive and coherent and non-fucking crazy sentence, somebody might pay you $13 million to talk. Maybe they'll pay you in cookies and jelly beans if you give a speech at fucking Bellevue. I don't know. So next stop, New York City. I said this was going to fucking happen. I said it was going to happen, and you know what? Fucking Uncle Tommy's always fucking right. So, 3 women from Texas. Sally Rochelle Lewis, Kaida Nikenje Rankin, and Tiani, Keisha Rankin, attacked a hostess at Carmine's restaurant last Friday simply for asking proof of vaccination. Okay? As this poor hostess is now forced to do, thanks to our illustrious Mayor Muppet Hands. Okay, so the women lost their fucking mind. See, here's what happened. So these 3 tourists from Texas go to Carmine's. They want to go inside, have a little Italian food. Okay, so the hostess, because as per New York City law, asked for proof of vaccination, and these women didn't have it, and because they're black, they claimed racism when the hostess wouldn't let her in, and then these fucking broads went wild and beat the shit out of the fucking hostess. Can you imagine this shit? Motherfucker, you never get between a black woman and a fucking meal, especially when it's some of that Italian food. I told you, motherfucker, they love their Italians. So you don't be fucking with no black woman food. That's why they lost their goddamn mind and beat the shit out of poor little white girl. Well, you know what? He's not wrong there, but like I said, this is what's going to happen. They alleged racism. They proceeded to beat the shit out of the girl. Now, here's where this becomes a... Okay, now, wait, goes further than that. So they were arrested, released without bail, and due back in October. And now the BLM protests have fucking started. Fucking told you this was going to happen. Clearly, these women were unstable. Okay? That's That's the way it is. But here's how this is going to affect now restaurants in New York City, because this is going to be an ongoing thing. Now you get the BLM fucking protesters outside of Carmine's making everything uncomfortable for everybody. So even the vaccinated people are probably not going to want to go, because who wants to get in the middle of that shit? Nobody wants to be attacked. Nobody wants to try to cross a fucking violent protest line. I mean, who wants to deal with this shit? So now Carmine's is going to suffer, which they already are, from lost sales. Not only from unvaccinated people, but because the vaccinated people are now going to avoid this. This is just one incident. It's going to spread. Believe me when I tell you, okay? Just the fucking tip of the iceberg. Next stop, we're going to stay in New York City for a hot minute here. I talked about, speaking of AOC, last week on the show, it was the Met Gala. She wore that dress that said tax the rich, right? Which she got custom made for her by some designer. The designer's name is Aurora James. Now here's the fucking funny part. Aurora James has multiple counts of tax evasion. Yeah, isn't that funny? Okay, worker exploitation, tax liens on defunct businesses in multiple states, plus 6 federal fucking tax liens for skirting IRS taxes. She's violated New York State workers' comp laws by not providing coverage to her employees. The workers' comp board doesn't like that. They fine the fuck out of you for that shit. So she has outstanding fines from New York State. She did recently, however, purchase a $1.6 million home in L.A. while stiffing her New York landlords during the pandemic. And this is after she received about $42,000 in pandemic relief funds. AOC even went on to tout her as a black immigrant who worked her way up. Okay? Well, I got news for you. She grew up in an upper middle class neighborhood in fucking Toronto, so she's an immigrant from Canada. I don't know what she worked her way up to, being a fucking tax evader. So here's a person that wants to make a statement on a Puerto Rican girl's ass by saying tax the rich. And meanwhile, she hasn't paid her fucking taxes. Now, if you buy a $1.6 million home in L.A., I think that qualifies you as fucking rich. Because according to the Biden infrastructure bill, you're technically rich if you make over $400,000 a year. Funny, huh? You know, if the Republicans did this shit, holy fucking... You know something? If Melania Trump wore something from a designer and it turned out that designer was some kind of tax evader, there would be fucking holy hell all over the fucking place. Okay? But because it's AOC, the poster child for the mentally unstable socialists, that's okay. Salud, Sandy. There you go, baby. All right. Next stop, the boogie down. We're going to the Bronx, baby. No, we're not talking about the Yankees. Apparently, a pair of frisky gorillas at the Bronx Zoo proved that when they have an audience, they want to get a little randy. So, a gorilla started blowing another fucking gorilla at the Bronx Zoo. Okay, I guess it was his birthday. I don't know. So, the people are at the gorilla pavilion in the Bronx. They're watching these fucking gorillas. And all of a sudden, one gorilla walks over to another gorilla and just goes, and just starts fucking deep throating them right there. Right there. Fucking legs are open, the whole 9 yards. Okay? Now, everybody at the zoo was aghast. A clip of the scene is actually currently all over fucking social media. It's going viral. Some fucking guy, he was there with his kids, was filming it. Probably went outside to his wife and went, "Look, you say even the gorillas get it. How come I can't?" Fucking gotta be kidding me. Animal experts report that it's all completely normal. The guy who was filming it went on to say, "I was shocked and had no idea that was a natural act." He's opted to remain anonymous because apparently he's afraid his wife is going to beat the fuck out of him for telling everybody he doesn't get any head. Gotta love the Bronx. Even the fucking gorillas are nuts. So, next stop, Hollywood. So, when I read this, I wasn't going to say anything, and then I see it all over the news, and I kind of have mixed feelings about it. You know, like I said, I sometimes poke fun at the gay community. I know. But in all honesty, I don't have a problem with anyone who's gay or lesbian or whatever. I think people that wake up one day and think that they're a woman or a man and might have something mentally wrong with them, but that's another story for another day. But, you know, I don't have a problem with people who are gay. I have some very close friends who are gay, family members, whatever. I had one of my closest friends thought she was a lesbian for 15 years, you know. But this one, I don't know. It kind of... We all know who Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, is, right? I mean, if you grew up in the fucking 80s, you know. Okay, Cassandra Peterson is the actress that plays Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She had, you know, nice, you know. She used to wear that big black wig. She kind of looked like a little bit like a Morticia type of thing. You know, she would intro all these like B-rated horror movies and stuff. Fucking gorgeous. Actually, she's a redhead in real life, which made me love her even more because everybody knows I'm a fucking sucker for a redhead. But she just published her memoirs where she reveals that she has been in a relationship with a woman for the last 19 years. Now, all over the news and the media and everything, they're saying she came out. I don't know what she came out as. Honestly, and I'm not being funny here. I'm just saying because she was married before, she has a kid, and her persona, you know, she's like a sex-crazed type of thing, a person who loves men, okay? Now, I'm sure she likes men because in the book, she goes on to describe how she met her now girlfriend of the last 19 years. She was at the gym and she sees this guy, as she describes in the book, walk past her, and he was hot and whatever, and they became friends, and she found out, oh shit, she's a woman. So they became friendly, and, you know, she discovered she had feelings for the woman, and, you know, who she initially thought was a guy, but and this happened, of course, after her marriage fell apart. And the friend fell into her arms. It's a classic lesbian love story. Period. The end. But she's been with this woman for the last 19 years. So I don't know if she came out as a lesbian or if she came out as bi or whatever. But she has been with this chick for 19 years. So a lot of guys are crying over this. I myself am not too upset. And I'll tell you why. Because, you know, I already had an imaginary fling with her when I was 13, okay? It was wonderful. I have nothing but wonderful memories for her. So now she's moved on to a woman. I get it. I'm a tough act to follow. I understand. So, and, you know, actually, I'll leave that part out. So I wish you well. You know, all the best, Cassandra. It was fun. How's our little sweetheart? I hope you're happy. So, speaking of redheads, next stop, Disneyland, California. Now, this pissed me off, okay? Jessica Rabbit, you know, the sultry, voluptuous wife of Disney legend Roger Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Disney wants to cover the best pair of cartoon tits that has ever been drawn, honestly. So they have a ride in Disneyland that features Jessica Rabbit, you know, and she wears that skimpy little gown, and she's, you know, and she was voiced by Kathleen Turner in the movie, who looks like shit, but has a nice, sultry, sexy kind of voice. You get her on the phone, it sounds wonderful. You see Kathleen Turner in person, you want to fucking shoot yourself, but that's in the story for another day as well. Anyway, so they feel that Jessica Rabbit looks too sexy, and they want to cover that up. Okay? So God forbid you have tits these days and you want to fucking flaunt them, even if you're a cartoon. Okay? This does not send a good message to pretty girls. Okay? If you're pretty and you have curves and you're looking pretty good, don't flaunt them. They want to cover her up in a fucking trench coat, make her a private eye. They already had a private eye. They don't need Jessica Rabbit being a private eye. Nobody wants to see Jessica Rabbit in a fucking trench coat unless the trench coat is open and there's no dress underneath it. Okay? So, on to your sports update. Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees, they were in fourth place earlier in the week. I just want to say this, okay? They moved up back into third, all right? They're playing the Red Sox this weekend, who are in second. Who fucking cares? They're not going anywhere. The only thing I'm looking forward to at the end of this season is them firing Aaron Boone. They should do it ceremoniously. Pack the fucking stadium full of people and give everybody a fucking bat. One by one, go up and break a fucking bone on them. The Phillies, however, which I said at the beginning of the season, this is the team to keep a fucking eye on. They took 2 of their 3-game series with the Mets last weekend, keeping themselves firmly in second place and in line for the wild card, might I add, and cementing the Mets in third. However, the Phillies are currently, I just looked this up a little while ago, about 1.5 games outside of first place. So, I mean, they're really catching up to the Braves. Either way, Phils are a lock for the wild card. It's almost October. It's going to happen. So, and you know something? This delights me because, one, I don't hate the Phillies. I like them. They're my backup team. Plus, I love Joe Girardi. I think he's a great manager. And this is like, an ultimate fuck you to the Yankees on his part. So he took a mediocre team and he bested probably one of the best teams in baseball, the New York Yankees, at least on paper, not by the way they're playing now. But it's also not their fault. They're being managed by a retard. Okay, bested them and could potentially bring them to the World Series. At least they get into the wild card. If they win the wild card, they don't win the wild card. No skin off my back. If they make it through the playoffs and actually get into the World Series, holy fucking shit, that would be amazing. But we'll see. Let's not put the cart before the horse. NFL! I don't even know where to begin. Okay, it's only week 2, and I'm fucking done with this season already. I can't fucking believe the Saints and the Jets both got blown out on fucking Sunday. It's fucking embarrassing. Now here's the thing: the Saints played the Panthers right on Sunday, and the Panthers fucking crushed the Saints. Matter of fact, the Panthers fucking crushed the Texans last night, and a friend of mine pointed this out. Their quarterback is fucking Sam Darnold. This is typical fucking Jets. The Jets trade Darnold to fucking Carolina, and they're like unstoppable all of a sudden. So the Saints got run over by the Panthers. The Jets got their asses kicked by the Patriots. I believe they played the Patriots. And fucking Giants, we know where that went. So I'm not even going to fucking get into that because I'm going to get heartburn. But for those of you that still give a shit, Giants are playing the Falcons on Sunday at 1. Jets are playing the Broncos Sunday at 4. And the Saints are playing the Pats Sunday at 1 o'clock. Me, personally, I'm excited for Sunday. That's NHL, baby. Preseason hockey. Rangers and Islanders on Sunday. Puck drops at 7 o'clock. Okay, kids, on What the Fuck Is That? We're going to talk about Blumpkins. Now, last weekend, I believe it was Saturday morning, I'm at the diner. I figured I'd treat myself to a diner breakfast. Haven't had one in forever. Sitting at the booth. Got my coffee. Trying to figure out what the fuck I want to order for breakfast. And there's 2 girls sitting behind me in a booth. And somehow Blumpkins came up in their conversation. Now, of course, I'm not eavesdropping, but I have excellent hearing. I can hear everything that they're saying. So I overheard these 2 broads in the next booth. And one of them was saying to her friend that she was so drunk the night before, I guess Friday night, that she decided to give her boyfriend a Blumpkin. Which, if you don't know what that is, that's when you blow somebody when they're taking a shit. I don't know what kind of fucking animal wants to do that. I don't know what kind. I mean, as a guy, I don't see the. I don't see the allure in that. Like when I'm taking a shit, that's a private act. And first of all, if I allowed somebody to do that, I'd probably be brought up on fucking homicide charges because, I take some aggressive shits. I eat a lot of protein, okay? So, I don't understand why somebody would think this is a good idea. How fucking drunk are you that your nose don't fucking work? I don't understand. Well, as I'm hearing this, my appetite quickly fucking vanished. And I promptly got up, paid for my coffee, and got the fuck out of there. I didn't have breakfast Saturday morning, so needless to say, these 2 fucking animals ruined my goddamn morning. Your PSA. Recent medical study says that smoking a joint will help alleviate painful sex. Now, listen, kids, if it's painful and not in a good way, then you're not doing it right, okay? Listen, ladies, if you're with a guy and it fucking hurts, they're not doing it right, okay? And guys, if you're doing something and all of a sudden you start to feel pain, you have to really reevaluate your techniques and your angles, your points of entry, and what it is exactly that you're doing. Okay, so just saying, like I said, if you're doing that sort of thing and it hurts, something ain't right. And on that note, stay COVID-less, kids. No mask, don't ask, haters can kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? That's been your Friday wrap-up, and I'll see you when I see you.